All right. Laying a horse down. This is fancy. I have a 60-foot lariat, I have a rope halter, and you can use a webbed one if you choose, a 14-foot lead rope that you just need to have attached to the horse. It is not to be used during this procedure except for just to hang on to whenever they lay down. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and lift the foot up, get the loop, your little hondo there, right around that ankle. You want to make sure the horse gives too light pressure and she sets her foot down. I give light pressure, she sets her foot down. Again, okay. Now, next thing you're going to want to do is you want to take this rope, toss it over their back. You're going to go ahead and reach under her belly. You want to get it a little bit behind the withers. You don't want it much higher than that because it just isn't in a good place when it gets any higher than that. Besides that, it'll slip back over the withers anyhow, so may as well put it there in the first place. Next thing you want to do, I'm going to squat down here on the ground. I do not advise that you do this with a horse that has never laid down before because it can get ugly right quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a half hitch here over her foot once. I'm going to go ahead and snug it up a little bit. Go ahead and make a second one here. I don't know if you can see how I'm doing that, but trying to include it. Okay, it's around, her foot is tied up. I am picking up the rope. I'm letting her have her head. I am positioning myself at an angle to her hip. I am not tugging on her head. You notice her head is down. I'm going to apply pressure to the lariat that's around her leg, and I'm going to pull towards me. I am not forcing her to lay down. And we're just going to wait. During this time, the only time that the horse gets relief is when they touch their knee to the ground, but it is very important that you give that relief as soon as they get their knee down. Otherwise, the horse will have no idea what you're expecting. And they get frustrated, you get frustrated, and you can get hurt and so can the horse. Notice I'm not applying any pressure at all whatsoever to the rope. I just have it in my hand here. This mare has laid down multiple times. She has not done it for 3 years. So this is pretty much like new all over again to her. She's trying to pull away from me, and I just keep that steady pressure. I am not forcing her to lay down. I'm simply making it uncomfortable enough for her to want to lay down. There is a difference. Okay, you notice that she's down on one knee, kind of. She has a straight leg. Okay, she has slack, giving slack. And what she's getting ready to do, she's getting ready to pop up. Or she's going to make a liar out of me and lay down. We'll see. Nope, she's popping up, so instantly I put the pressure on that leg again. I am going to say that this is not for an inexperienced handler at all. This is not for a horse that has... Okay, she's going back down on her knee. There we go. Now she's thinking about it, folks. And she's down. Okay, she knows exactly what to do. She lays down. I'm going to take the lead rope, and I'm going to put it over her neck like so. I'm going to go ahead and let her have that slack. I'm going to put my knee on her shoulder, and I'm going to undo this half hitch. I'm keeping myself in a good position. I'm letting her have that leg because she did do good. Sometimes you have to pull that rope out from underneath of them a little bit. Depends on what way they lay down. She always lays down the opposite leg I got tied up. So if she can stretch out, that is her reward. So what I do is I kneel down and I pet them and let them know that they're okay. I'm not hurting them. You want the horse to trust you. This is an exercise for trust. It is not an exercise to be barbaric. This is good for horses, any horse really, mainly horses that are challenging and dangerous. Again, there's two ways to do this. You can do it the right way, as I just did, by making it uncomfortable enough for her to want to lay down, or you can force them down. That's the wrong way. If you force them down, you don't gain their trust, In fact, you do just the opposite. You scare them, and you've just created a whole nother world of problems. But you just want to rub them everywhere. Rub them in their no zones where they don't like being handled. There's not a place on her that I can't touch, so. And it's very important if she wants to get up, which I don't want her to yet. I want to keep her down for about 15 minutes. But for educational purposes, I probably won't keep her down that long since she's done this a lot. If she were to try to stand up at this point in time, I would take this lead rope and pull it directly to her hip, which ultimately it would be pulling her nose to her withers, if that makes sense. That way you keep them down. The getting up process is just as important as the laying down process. You do not want them to rush up. If they rush up, they can get hurt, you can get hurt, and they can scare themselves, and again, you've just dissolved any trust that you built. And she's waiting on me to cue her to get up, and I'm not going to yet. Instead, I'm going to get down here and I'm going to pet her. You can give them treats when they're laying down like this if you want. See, she's trying to get up, and I don't want her to. You can give them treats when they're down like this. It's completely up to you. It is a good reward for a good horse, and they just did a very good thing. Once a horse learns that you can take away their feet and you're not going to kill them or hurt them, it does make them a completely different animal. But you want to keep them, make sure you keep them down and love on them. This doesn't spoil them, this just shows them that you are not going to eat them. That's the whole prey-predator thing. They're a prey animal. We're the predators. And we don't want to be the predators. We want to be their friends. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stand her up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kick her on the shoulder. I don't want her to roll over on top of me because that's what she's trying to do. Okay. Okay, up she goes. There. Licking and chewing, that's a good thing. And that's how it's done, folks.